Hey everyone, Drew from Monkey's Tropicals Adventures here to do another fragrance review on
What smells good to me?
So what are we going to talk about? Well, first I would like to thank Hanny at Alexandria Fragrances for sending me this fragrance to review. I truly appreciate it. I'm a big fan of Alexandria Fragrance House. But like I always say, just because something's sent to me doesn't mean I'm going to give a bogus review. So I'm going to give you a 100% honest review. And with that, let's get started. So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about Fade to Black, which is inspired by Kilian's Back to Black. Now, first I want to kind of point out a few things that I've seen the changes in Alexandria's presentation in their bottles. So they've switched now to these really nice bottles, a little bit more square, a little bit shorter, with a nice wood cap, which stays on there, with the Alexandria logo, which is really cool. And then the boxes are really cool. So this one came in this gold box, and then it opens up. It's really nice box. Some people really aren't into presentation, so they don't really care, but I gotta like, it says there, hand created in California. I like presentation, it's very nice. And it didn't change the cost on their fragrances, which is actually one of the things I'm gonna get into with this Kilian Back to Black. From what I understand, one of the reasons too is the presentation of the fragrances is so huge and astronomical that there's a lot of cost that goes into it, and there's a lot of upsell on the cost anyways. But the bottom line is you want to smell good, so I'm not wearing the box, I'm not wearing the presentation, but people that are collectors that are really into it, they're into those kind of things. So anyways, all right, so Fade to Black, like I said, is inspired by Kilian's Back to Black, and I got a decant of it, and what I've done is I put the Kilian on my left wrist, and I put the Alexandria Fade to Black on my right. The opening for maybe a minute or two was a little bit different, but the actual dry down as to what I'm wearing, I'm going to be honest, it's about 95%. The only thing I would say is maybe the projection on the Kilian is a little bit stronger. But as far as the way it smells identical. It smells identical. Kilian, Alexandria. It smells pretty damn identical. So I'll say 90-95% because when I say 100%, people lose their shit. But like I said, the opening a little bit different as it's drying down, identical to where it smells right now, and we're about 2.5 hours in now. They smell the same. What can I say? So what about this fragrance? What kind of fragrance is this? This is a cool weather fragrance, perfect for this time of year that we're heading into fall. Here in Southern California, we no longer have seasons. We have summer, summer light, summer is easy, fire season. Right now we're having crazy wildfires. It is a little bit cooler. I went outside. When I go to the gym at like 3 in the morning, it is colder. So when I spray some of these fragrances on, they really pop in that cooler weather. So if you're in some cooler weather states or parts of California where it's much cooler, these fragrances are going to shine more than they are in a warmer weather. I would not wear this fragrance in a warm weather environment. It's not. Fall, winter, cool weather, it's gonna pop, it's gonna smell beautiful. It's almost gourmandish. And when I read the notes, you'll kind of see why. So you've got white honey, tobacco, cherry, vanilla, raspberry, almond, gingerbread, oh boy. Tonka, amber, chamomile, saffron, benzoin, patchouli, oak, French labdanum, cardamom, Virginia cedar, geranium, and bergamot. So the ones that I really get, I don't get, the raspberry actually is kind of popping. It was funny, when I was writing these notes down, I could get that little hint of raspberry. I mean, very faintly, but it is actually noticeable. But what I got the most was the warm spices. It's very inviting, very cozy. It's like sweater type weather. It reminds me of putting on a sweater, a nice jacket, and it's really cold. That's what this fragrance is. It's very inviting, warm, and cozy. The tobacco and the spice is very prominent. I would classify this as a tobacco fragrance, which are my favorite. Hence why I kind of sought this fragrance out. The honey, a little bit of that cherry and vanilla. So those are like what I'm really getting. A little bit woody, patchouli light. I'm not getting any of the almonds, and I'm not getting any of the geranium or the bergamot. So like I said, it's more of a spicy, warm tobacco type fragrance. It's very, very nice and inviting. Perfect. You're going, we've got parties coming up. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas parties and stuff. This would be one of those fragrances you would wear. Very inviting, cozy. It's going to be one of those things that someone's going to smell and really enjoy smelling it on you, and you're going to really enjoy wearing it. I would say it's office safe. It's not, the projection is nice, but it's not a beastly projecting fragrance. And the longevity, like I said, I'm only about 2.5 hours in. But I'm going to guess, typically you're going to get about 6 to 8 hours on these fragrances, and that's what I've got from the most of my Alexandria fragrances. Like I said, they are smelling identical, but I will say the Kilian is a little bit louder. It's just got a little bit more projection and bite to it. But as far as the smell, they do smell identical, which I think is great. The bottom line when I shoot these videos is never to shit on the company that the Inspired Fragrances is taking after. It's just find you a fragrance that smells great and is affordable. That's it. I think it's great. It's it's a sign of a compliment when someone does an inspired fragrance. So Alexandria has done a great job again of doing this inspired fragrance of Kilian Back in Black, Back to Black, sorry. And let's just break down cost. So for a 1.7 ounce for the Kilian is $295, right? Okay, for the Alexandria, for this is a 55 ml. This goes for $62.99, or you can get a 30 ml for $42.99. Now, what I always tell people when they watch my videos, and I highly suggest, is that you sign up for Alexandria's email notices, because they'll let you know when a new fragrance is going to drop, and they're always running promo codes. So I just went on their website before shooting this video, and they've got a 15% off code, but they often do 20 to 25% almost monthly. So it'd behoove you to get on that list and get the notifications, follow them on Instagram, so you know when they're running one of their promo codes. So then you're not paying this $62.99, you're paying 25% less. And there's so many different fragrances they have. You can get, they sell these little decants in a packet of like 6 or 8 or something like that. I'll clarify in a second. But they look like this. And you can try out a bunch of their different fragrances. That's how I was introduced. I did a blind buy, my very first purchase, and then I bought a bunch of the trial ones, and then I really started kind of delving into all their different fragrances. And they've yet to disappoint. Even if it's not identical to the fragrance it's being inspired by, it is still a really nice smelling fragrance. So with that being said, really check out Alexandria Fragrances. And if you don't want to buy a clone or inspired fragrance, then you can buy a decant. And I'm not going to promo that company, but there's a lot out there that sell really great decants, and you can always do that as well. So I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you follow Alexandria Fragrances. I've got a couple other fragrances from their house that I will be doing reviews on. And follow me over on Instagram at Monkeys Tropicals Adventures, and I will see you again for another fragrance review or a shave. Take care.